Hi and welcome to my live feed. Today I'll be walking over the design in focus concept and answering some Q&As that have popped up frequently. To start with, design in focus. So design in focus is a multimedia channel and professional platform for CID professionals. CID stands for Creativity, Innovation and Design. So, what is it? So we're discovering and demonstrating the value and impact of creativity, innovation and design in business and society. To do this, we have the multimedia channel and the professional platform. CID, Creative, Innovation and Design. All the content that we create centers around that. And then we have the value, the impact, business and society. So if you'd like to create some content with us, you could discuss the value of creativity in society, or the impact of innovation in business, or the value and impact of design in society. So you can mix and match quite freely amongst the 7 keywords that we have. And that gives us the possibility to create content that is a little bit more channeled and focused. So for example, design, I'm an experienced designer. We have graphic design, we have service design, we have product design. So you can go into one of those categories. And then of course, if we go into UX, you can talk about journey mapping, you can talk about information architecture. So there are quite a lot of ways that we can create a lot of content with a lot of topics centered around the topics. The media that we create is filtered across 4 pillars. So to start off with, we have industry talks. Next to industry talks, we have the human experience, the dream team roundtable, and the dark side of the force. Industry talks is professional discussions and conversations, and we're keeping it very high level. It is very professional. It is to talk about the professional landscape and the industries. And then we have the human experience. The human experience is from a more personal lens. Here we talk about what we encounter in our industries and professions as professionals. Then we have the Dream Team Roundtable. The Dream Team Roundtable is group sessions which are designed to sort of demonstrate the capacity of those professionals who appear in it. So, for example, we take a group of people, we present them with a challenge, and they have to try and solve it using design thinking or creative problem solving. Our first session was recorded in December. Busy editing and working out the details, but our first topic was sustainable fashion and the role of design. So we'll be working on that challenge in the coming months, but also some other challenges as we develop other Dream Team roundtables. The dark side of the force, the content here is a little bit less inspiring. However, we address certain facets of our industry and profession, and perhaps we find ways to solve them and to improve them. So the topics that we cover here, for example, are mental burnout in creatives, dark psychology, dark UX, dark design, sin marketing, and why creatives are the most harassed professionals in all industries. The types of content that we create can be filtered into these 5 categories. We have audio. These are podcasts generally, but can also be interviews and discussions. We have editorial, so we'll be publishing articles and other types of editorial content. Video, visual, and events, so live media. There are 6 areas that we engage in on design in focus. So I will go into that a little bit more in detail over here online. Areas. So, well, the first area is galleries. I have not listed it in the correct order. I will do so soon. So first off, we have galleries. When we co-create content, you can choose various journeys that you can take to get started. So the least effort and the journey that is the easiest for everybody is to take the leisure route. When we do the leisure route, we create content and we add them to the galleries. The galleries that we have on Design in Focus is the pillars, then the type of format, and the topic. And you can also find a list of channels where, like for example, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, SoundCloud, you name it, the social channels, you can also find us. Next to the leisure route, you can take the explorer route. And when you take the explorer route, we create experience portals to sort of support the content that we've created for the galleries. Some really nice experience portals, in my opinion, is that of Trina Falbe and Ricardo Faria, because they're the most complete to demonstrate and talk a little bit about the experience portals. So when we create experience portals, there are two types. There is the standard experience portal and there's a bespoke experience portal. All experience portals start with this similar header. So that it's your name, your topic or your profession, and then the categories that you talk in, the pillars that you on which you create content, and the roles that you play on Design in Focus, as well as a little summary about yourself and what you talk about. Below that, you can start with an introduction, as Ricardo did, and he talks about KPIs in design, and so he just gave us a little bit of insight there. That is followed by the audio that we create. Ricardo has done a web series with us and will be continuing this year. So there's the audio that's followed by a little bit of a visual. Everybody who participates on Design in Focus, I ask of them for an inspirational quote or words of advice. With that, I create this asset, and then you could share it on social media to inspire each other. But also when this page is shared on social media, this is the image that pops up. We can change that, of course, but this is the standard format. Below that, you see all the videos that we've created. And below that, you can see that Ricardo is a member on Design in Focus, and these are some of the groups that he participates in. Ricardo also writes articles on Design in Focus, or will be writing. He's published his first article, and this is it. And then, of course, that's all followed by ways that you can learn more about him and get in touch. Next to that, we have bespoke experience portals. Bespoke experience portals is for when we want to include content beyond the scope of what we have on Design in Focus. So for that, Trina Falbe of the Ethical Design Network is a great example. Here you can find the audio that we've created together and some video with that. Trina also wrote a little editorial, which you can read here. And then there are ways that you can learn more about Trina Falbe, following below, and the ethical design, which is also at the bottom of the page. And you can learn more about the Ethical Design Network, so you can join the network or you can join the Slack group. Again, the inspirational quote, the ways that you can contact Trina. She provides corporate training, which you can find here. She has written a couple of publications, which you can find here. She's done a few talks and a lot of events, which you can also find here, and the ways to contact her. On this page, I also included some insight into ethical design, and I found some facts and figures, and I presented here to sort of support the topic from an objective point of view. Below that, I also included some ways for people to start reading about ethical design and how to start implementing it. Some of this content links back to Trina, and some of this content is just content that I found valuable online. Right. So that's the explorer route. The next route is the adventurer route. And with the adventurer route, you can add any of the following as well. So adventure routes, the adventurer route includes events, membership on the platform, networks and communities, and training and mentoring. So first off, the events. Some of us have host events as collectives. So for example, if you want to attend or talk about events which you host exclusively in the industry, you could do it here. But you can also use the platform to create events. So generally what happens with the adventurer route is that you become a member on Design in Focus. Not always, but if you want to publish your own events and you want to manage your networks and communities, you want to publish training and mentoring, and you want to have certain have certain possibilities enabled on the members area, then you sign up for a VIP membership. VIP membership is not any different from general membership. It's only that I assign rights to you to be able to partake in the activities mentioned. I just want to make sure that all the messages are fine here. Yeah. All right, let's see. So I'll talk a little bit more about these areas in just a bit. But to get back to where we were, these are the areas. So there's a little map I've started creating. I'm not complete yet, but depending on what you choose, you can have various routes in the journey of Design in Focus. So first off, what defines that? So for that, we look at the goals. There are 8 general goals that Design in Focus is working on. So for example, awareness. Perhaps you'd like to create an awareness of something happening in the industry. Perhaps you'd like to create awareness so that people can implement better standards. Generally, awareness is a broad topic, but that's a goal. Then we have connect. So you may want to connect with others, and you can create content to do that. This is, for example, where the networks and communities and the events come in. To build. Well, on Design in Focus, you can build your reputation with the content that you create, but you can also build a network or a community, and you can build events, and you can build training and mentoring programs. Leadership. So perhaps you'd like to partake in creating content with us to demonstrate your leadership skills. Expression. So this is very good for the human experience and also for the forum and members area, because you get to express your opinions, your ideas, and your thoughts. To inspire. This is my favorite. You can create content that inspires those around you, not only your peers in the industry, but also your stakeholders. You can demonstrate. A key aspect of demonstration on Design in Focus is the Dream Team Roundtable, because here we give people a challenge and we give them an opportunity to demonstrate their skills. You can create demonstrative content also on the other pillars, but also on the networks and communities. And then to solve. So perhaps we make content where we want to solve a problem, and we discuss it, or we ask others to get involved. And then there are the roles. So on Design in Focus, there are a couple of roles. We have viewers, of course, but aside from watching the content or, listening to it, they don't really play much more of a role. And so the 9 other roles are really important. So participants. Participants are the people who come onto the web shows and the podcasts, and they talk about their industry or profession. Then we have networks and community builders. So we support those who have networks and communities, but we also enable professionals to build their own networks and communities. So the way that we support already existing networks and communities, if it would load, is that we list them here with an introduction, and then people can go from here to the community if it's external, or onto the community page here on Design in Focus if it's internal. So external pages, these are communities which are free from Design in Focus. We've got no collaboration is necessary. Sometimes we do have, but it's not necessary. But these networks and communities exist free from Design in Focus. So some good examples are the Design Leadership Forum, the Ethical Design Network, and Creative UK. We also have active on Design in Focus. So this is Randstad.ux. This is a community and network that was created by myself for UX designers in the Randstad region. And then there's a couple of more over the coming years, maybe. I hope to populate this list with useful information for all creatives, innovators, and designers to find a network or community that serves their needs and helps them grow as a professional and deliver that value and impact that I'm always talking about. So on this page, it's possible to find the different ways that whether it's external or external. This is the listing page. So a listing page has got the logo, the name, the location, and who is responsible for the foundation or the network or community. There's also space for a slogan or a tagline and a summary. You can join the network. There are usually a couple of links. Some of these pages have got more links, some have less. For example, if a network or a community has Slack groups and LinkedIn groups and so forth, you'll find all the links here. There are a couple more details about the network or community. So here I've included the groups, the LinkedIn, and the notice board. There are links to all their content again in the bottom, followed by content that's created by the person who runs the network or community. So if you have a network and community and we create a podcast together, or you send over content that we save with your name in it, it will appear here. And then of course also if the network or community we support them, with the networks or communities, we also give suggestions for groups on Design in Focus, like such. But of course, this is not just a listing, it's a Design in Focus page. And so for that, I've created a landing portal. The landing portal has got events, a notice board, and a couple of other details. So here you can find the group on Design in Focus, and here you can find the LinkedIn page. So we support others to replicate this format. It doesn't have to be the exact same design, but for example, you create a network or community, you create a group on Design in Focus, and you maybe create some other social media channels. And that sort of creates that visibility, and you can publish it all here. Here is the video of our last event. So anybody who was not able to attend can rewatch it here. Here we've published all the upcoming events for the next couple of months. And we also have a page for the presenters who's presented already. We're still missing a few. We'll update this page in the coming weeks. But yeah, you could see Tiziana's work. You can download the presentation by Ricardo. And in the future, yeah, we'll continue that as well. We have a notice board because this is a regional network for those living in the Randstad. We enable professionals to share their events and their communities or activities, and just hang out, create like that community feeling for the Randstad. And anybody can post to the board. For this community, I'm not collecting any emails, so people can just post. And then, of course, there are opportunities for those who would like to volunteer with the network, so that they can maybe learn how to manage certain groups, or get involved in their professional community. So this is the group. On the group, people can become members, and here they can share. Oh, I'm not logged in, sorry. Here they can share certain content with each other. They can meet up with each other, message each other. Oh, come on. When you share a post here, oh, come on. What is happening? Oh. You can engage with the community here. Can I post? Yes. All right. Oh, my internet is so slow when I go live. Right. So you can start a discussion and talk about whatever you like. And here you can add photos, you can add galleries, you can add videos, sound files, GIFs. You can upload files. For example, if you want to share presentations or share goodies, tools, resources, you can do that. You can post some polls, and there's a couple of things more, like you can add buttons and code, and also add some events. On the group, you also see the media that is shared. So if you have a community that's very active, you can share media here. This is a video of the last meeting that we had. You can see the members, and here again you can build those lasting connections with fellows and peers who are in the same industry or topic that you are. And there's about and there's events. All right. So the thing about the groups is that there are a couple of groups that we've created already. These groups relate to CID and the areas that we work in. But you can also create your own group. So if you want to start a network or community, you can create a group here. And before we build a bespoke portal like the Randstad UX portal, we create the group. You can schedule events and all of that, and it's an easy way to start. So what we currently have is for the Design in Focus volunteers, Randstad UX. This is a group for the first Dream Team Roundtable that we have. There's Amsterdam Worldly Makers, for example. This is not so important. Well, it is important, but I mean, it's not what I'd like to draw your attention to. So the groups that I suggest for most people is the CID. So for creatives, innovators, and designers, that's very broad. But you can also get into creative events, networks and communities. So here I'd like to see people list the networks and communities, or discuss networks and communities that are valuable to CID professionals. We have groups for leadership in all three categories, and we have the founders and makers. The founders and makers I will talk about a little bit more in detail as well. We have training and mentorship, so this is for people to offer the training and mentorship, but also for others to talk about training and mentorship that has been valuable and impactful for them. We have the quality awards group and then the pillar groups. So basically you could create any type of group with a specific focus. You can do it for a specific region, a specific language. All right. Yes, so yeah, that was a little bit more about networks and communities and how we support them. And then up next we have collaboration. So we're open to collaborate with various parties, companies, organizations, collectives, and individuals. Some of the ways that we're collaborating is having joint events or creating awareness of things that are important to both of us. That is still a little bit developing, and I will be creating a special video just for that. And the same is for sponsors. So briefly, we rely on sponsoring and donations to run this foundation. I've chosen to do it that way because I wanted to remain pure to the mission and vision, which is demonstrating the value and impact of CID in business and society. And I found that, to actually maintain that vision and not to corrupt it, it was best not to get too financially incentivized. So the sponsoring, there are 3 levels of sponsoring. There is the helping hand. This is for small amounts. If you're a member, you also get a helping hand badge, and we create a post on LinkedIn thanking you for your donation. Then we have the shoulder to lean on, or supporting shoulder. Supporting shoulder sponsors, it's a medium amount. And of course, we do a little marketing campaign around your sponsorship, talk about why you've invested in the CID professional industry and professionals. Could be good for companies who really care about creativity, innovation, and design, and then lastly, we have the White Knight program, and this comes with a CSR program where we help your company with its corporate communications and activities in relation to corporate social responsibility. And that program is, of course, you sponsor Design in Focus to help you with that challenge. Members, so yes, we have 2 types of memberships. We have the standard membership and we have VIP memberships. So a standard member can very easily just go onto the platform members area, and here they can connect with other members. They can communicate in the groups, and they can post to the forum. You can go to a profile of a person on the members area, and you can engage with them. And their icons, these badges, tell you a lot about what sort of role and function they play in Design in Focus. So, for example, you could see that Kimberly partakes in industry talks, the Human Experience, the Dream Team Roundtable. She's a collaborator, an industry shaper, and a Quality Awards nominee. There are a couple of different icons, and you can find the meaning of the icons by going right there, and then you can see what all the badges mean. Then VIP members, they're pretty much the same as standard members, but they get administrative rights. So with this, you can publish articles, you can publish training and mentoring, and events. And this is especially useful for those who want to be writers, those who want to manage networks or communities, or publicize their networks and communities. And it's just a little bit more ways to get involved. So we also are working with leaders. So leaders are people who create content and collaboratory events with us, where they try and, well, not try, where they focus on leadership and develop people's skills, and also, yeah, shed some light and lead the way into into CID. And then we have the founders and makers. So founders and makers, this is particularly, there's two ways. So we work with those who find organizations like Design in Focus or Ladies That UX. And we also work with content creators, who just wants to collaborate to show what content they're making. But we're also working with founders and makers who are Design in Focus related. So Design in Focus, the organization, we are trying to go global, or we are working on going global. We're setting up board members in different countries, and in different regions with different languages, and some focused on specific topics. So, for example, somebody can found a Design in Focus California Spanish, and then they focus on design only, or they can do a Design in Focus South Africa, a Design in Focus Portuguese, a Design in Focus just design, infographic design, whatever. They can keep it broad or they can keep it small, and many of the founders and makers will also be board members on Design in Focus. And then the mentoring and training, I've already discussed this briefly, but we allow professionals to publish mentoring and training programs. All our mentoring and training programs are free, and it is only people who offer free services who publish. But of course, you can start with an introductory course and then move that over into your own platform. So link from here to your own platform where you go more into detail and more specialized training and mentoring. And then lastly, we have the volunteer roles that you can play. I will go into this in just a little bit. So for now, just to briefly summarize, we have the Design in Focus concept. It's a professional platform and a multimedia channel. We focus on creativity, innovation, and design in the 4 pillars: industry talks, the human experience, the Dream Team Roundtable, and the dark side of the force. And then with this, we create the content in all the various forms. And that's basically most important for those who want to participate. We have been developing the foundation a little bit, and we're searching for volunteers and board members. So you can also find ways to add to your portfolio by partaking as a board member or volunteer. There are quite a lot of opportunities, and you can also create your own opportunities. So for example, if you're a graphic designer and you want to lead Design in Focus into what is best for graphic designers, you can come in and you can talk from the graphic design industry as their leader or their representative on the platform. Of course, this can be regional, this can be language focused, it can be specific topic focused, providing as long as it's in CID format. And we work with the value and impact of that in business and society. And there are a few more set roles, like a chairman, board members, international. We do need somebody who can oversee different international groups. There's a few, and of course, like I said, anything can be created. So, if you are, let's see. Yes. So for creatives and producers, if you want to volunteer, you can create your own channel on Design in Focus, but also off Design in Focus. And you can create content, and that, of course, you can add to your portfolio. So I think that's quite interesting for people who are relatively new in the industry, or those who have a specific interest but have not yet found opportunities to dive deeper into those into that to actually work with what they're interested in. Additionally, although I'm creating multimedia content with professionals at the moment, I'm more of the conceptual design type of person, and so I am searching for volunteers who will be hosts of the different podcasts. So for industry talks, for example, it could be really nice to have a very professional person who knows everything about industries. For the human experience, it would be cool to have some really social people do the interviews and talks, because that lends to that personal aspect. So for each of the pillars, we are searching for presenters and talkers and people who sort of go into that a little bit more. And like I said, we've got the topic collective, so board member design, but that can also be more siphoned down, so board member graphic design, for example. And then also you can volunteer, like for example with the Randstad UX, where you volunteer with the network or community. I'm busy working on that role, but if you'd like to assist on, for example, upskilling youth, or assisting network organizing events, or networks and communities, you can also volunteer to do that. So basically any kind of volunteering is highly appreciated, and pretty cool. All right, so I think that's a little bit more about that's the main overview. So depending on the role that you play, or the roles, and the goals that you have, we filter that into the areas. So if you are, if you're somebody who creates networks and communities, or if you're involved in the networks and communities, so you can be a network and community volunteer, you can be a viewer, you can be an organizer, so you can play one of those roles, supporting roles, and the same is with the rest of the areas. So that's basically the Design in Focus overview. What is the platform good for? So there are a couple of things to consider from. So for those who are just starting out in the industry and becoming professional, for those who are in the middle of their career and sort of building reputation and building authority, and then also from a leadership perspective. All of that is good for something. So whether you're a leader or you're searching for leadership, you have all levels on Design in Focus. For students, it could be interesting to start creating content to showcase your comprehension of what you've learned, and also, if you're a student and you want to build a community where you're connecting with your own peers to work on a topic, and to have events or to publish articles related to that, you can do that. If you are building your career already mid-weight, perhaps you'd like to share some of that information in a network or community, or perhaps you'd like to share that in a multimedia content that we create. Perhaps you'd like to offer your training and mentoring. You can do that with Design in Focus. So there are lots of different ways to interact. Yes, okay. So there were a couple of questions that I wanted to address. But I have somehow lost the list. Well, first off, let's take on the cost. So Design in Focus is taking a foundational form. This means that we're not for profit, and the reason for this is, like I said, to maintain integrity and not to steer away from the mission and vision. So we do not pay anybody for their contribution, and nobody pays us for our work that we do. We do accept donations and sponsorship, as we said. And of course, for those who partake in creating multimedia content, if there is at any stage a profit from what we create together, we split the amounts fairly and equally amongst everybody who contributed to make that content happen. So the cost is, there's no cost. You're welcome to donate. Please, please, please donate. Yeah, but there's no pressure to donate. I won't mention it again, but yeah. And then, yeah, how much effort does it take? Yeah, so the effort depends on how much you want to put in. Oh wait, where did I put that link? Yeah, so the effort that it takes for Design in Focus depends on what you want to put in. There's of course the different ways to get involved, but I'll go into the participation because here I can show you there's the leisure route, the explorer route, and the adventure route. I mentioned this before. So the leisure route, we create the content, it goes straight to the galleries and channels. The explorer route, we create the experience portal, and the adventure route, we have membership, events, training, mentoring, and all of that I've mentioned. So you kind of determine how much effort you want to put in depending on what you want. Anybody can start with the leisure route, and then if that goes well enough, they can take on a few of the adventure route topics. So it's not set where you have to do X, Y, or Z. You can basically determine for yourself. It is a big platform, and it is quite cognitive. It is meant to be professional and intellectual. So I leave that up to you with your knowledge to tell me what works, what can you do. It's your up to you. Yeah, so I think I've answered almost all of the questions. Yes, I've answered all of the questions that I've had so far. Yeah, I will see now if there are any more questions. I did not see any questions come by. Yeah, so there's been no more questions and nobody's joined the call. So I think I'm just going to end. If you do have any questions, do let me know. Yeah, you can reach out to me directly. You can post below. And we also have a Q&A section on Design in Focus, which you can find in the navigation under Design in Focus. You'll find the Q&A section, and there post all your questions, and I'll answer as soon as possible. And well, with that, I will say thank you very much if anybody's watched. And for the rest, if you're rewatching this, I hope you like the concept, and I hope that it's inspired you to get involved. From March on, I have an open calendar for those who I have not contacted personally just yet. So if anybody is interested, March on to participate, please do get in touch. And at the moment, I'm working with those who want to also participate with Randstad UX. So that's the community that I created. And with Randstad UX, we have presentations and talks every month. So if you'd like to present or talk, you can do so at the Randstad UX. For other CID professionals, not UX related, we're working on creating networks and communities, and we're finding the people who can lead that. So if you'd like to lead a design and focus inspired network or community like Randstad UX, we provide you with everything that you need. We'll help you with your branding, so your logo and your name and your slogan. You can list it on the general list, but we can also create the bespoke page. You can create the group, and if you're a member with VIP membership, you can publish events. So this is, it doesn't cost a thing. So it's better than some other, probably won't say brands, but if you've got a network and a community, you know that you have to pay to publish the events. So this is for free, and it's focused, channeled on CID. So as we gain traction and as we get the budget for marketing and advertising, we will be able to grow and, of course, gain more members and a little bit more reputation in the industry. So I think that's about it. 10 minutes to spare, that's great. I am off to an event tonight, the Amsterdam UX and UI book club, and pretty excited. There's a lot of exciting things happening in CID for professionals in industry, and I hope that I meet all of you and you all meet together and we all have a good time as professionals. Thank you very much. Bye.